What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie and NIT 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie and NIT 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie and NIT 100.9.
The best station in the capital, NIT FM.
Singing,
Station in the capital, Beat FM.
Enyumre Yamagana phone nyina kwaba. Jumedie ye friend Torchlight ewo neat 100.9. Ene yawada minika mo amane se nyame adoma next week yawada enya de beba Torchlight because Yesu ewu amayen. Enti ese ye ntem de yekobo canopies. Ne yekọ yehye nkonya na ade che Friday na yetimde ye Yesu ayie na yeje ne ho so abode. Enti nyame adoma yawada no enya de a ye beba eye ne na wo twentimi kan emo amane ansa yebekwa kodi Yesu ni woda no ye ko hyehye nkonya akosiesie fie yede beye Yesu ayie no kama na osore nso a baby ebekọ reception no yakosiesie ofefefe kama na jese bibia akoyie enti anu a hye ne nso midin de Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN jumedi ye friend Torchlight ewo neat 100.9 yetena se na wani to ase yetena se ni dia intellectual discussions ni de bra nsama kodo a ye betwe na yetime aka na yede achechere oman na dabia na meka se yamanyofuei ede anwoma na ye no mudi djuma na yamanyofuei aya mo kasa monhwe mo kasa bugie dabia na meka se mo kasa aya monhwe mo kasa bugie yamanyofuo no na se oyamanyoni na uwohwei o be pretumi ewo party mu enne na wo kasa o party na benefit daachi bi nsema wo kan na party ni ye beneficiary no party mana san de betia wo ebra wo petumi etide bia amanyofo no metumofo se mo kasa na aya na mahwene yie se mo kasa enna aya na mahwene yie na yamu bi ni nsem bebre wo ha yaka we have been vindicated heavily but nipa nya atwominti they will pretend say yanka ne yie but ye kan yie and that is the reason na yanom so ayedu omache no e say e ma adwum da ho amantana wo hwei maza woda obedi sivu oyamanyoni kwakunoba wo hwei woda obedi sivu oyamanyoni ono no oho obeka nsem ebe wo de enti mom yenye galibulo because wo no wo hoi won be kan sema ebe daadaaw around him enokre won be kan sema ebe daadaaw enutira da bia make say we shouldn't be gullible won mo kan sema na ne abo akira hwe sese so far mabo no onso eno ama ekosen edemaw enen nsem ni bia ye baba behwe ene se ye kan eye tomatoes ho nkomo no tomatoes ho nkomo ne agric ministry honorable Eric Opoku measures are odiagu akwanmu how sustainable are these measures some measures no ebisa se ebetime aboa akosisen one you say your 1,000 acres bia ya shase edua dada sa 1,000 acres na nche kra ye be sha ase ne ate so no se nto so dia 90 days will season a very viable crowd 90 days. We bet to make chantos no. It is here to make the toast be say. Na Ghana ha. Na de yes yentimi kokran toast. Ebenada na deadline. Yentimi kokran ma. Ye bisa say so. Aban eye feed Ghana program no. In toast ka ho bie no. Yera Eric Opoku amenya de tie measures ene said your feed Ghana program ya na fa no. Ebeboa wasa to your phone so say your backyard. Yen duaduan toast na toast kra de oye aduane wie utugu a baabi ade begu bia obon se na efefe ebe fifia na toast no kra na aso na wo tibidi je se anke no ano no nti ade nti na ka be problem nti na ka de aduaduan na ya pe factory be processing factories na ye process na ka de ko enti ye bedi ho komo na ye bisase so ya ade a eno no se dia waka no ne ka no ana yes slave trade. Ebi krasa de na yes slave trade o. Na yes slavery ankasa. Trade bi anka ho. Because abrofo no mo daadaa yen no mo so ayen krofo. E de wo ko mu kurom ekoye adwuma ebi wuwu ye so am gu puma nei. San komo no akwakopie wo UN a ye man panyin edi animu ade womato esoaba emfaso de ben na ebetimi ede abreye asoman se ye hwe animu ana mo te brofu bi say reparation say reparations na ye ka ho asam na isika o eche say ye pe bibi de afira brofu no ho aha na eno no kra de ba ebe ne de nti ede emfaso de na eno so ebetimi de abreye wonim say ye ka say minority led by Honorable Amprechum. Womo hinte say womo babe petition scratch. Womo petition scratch no scratch investigate Ore Ibrahim Mahama. Eye Diamond Mines any EMP engineers and planners. The company say conflict of interest be in the ho. And what chene so no omampanyin so use the brother the jet no the two kwan no. Omo bisa say conflict of interest be any ana. It's a minority force say womo ebe petition. Yes, Rach. Is it necessary? Ye bisa and then you bring. Meno wakasa dia mabeja fu ameno mbedi juma eye Bashiru Amantana or a member of the NDC Communication Bureau. Atenase. Kwa kunowa make say yikese e woni pesu ano so. Che say enye ahoye enye mem good. Enye mem oman hene eda forma che say doctor to force and any abere pa ye say de any abere won pesu ano so no ene akwan a wo musiesie so wo ho no and that form enti ayikase pa wo eye kwakunowa adwuma ko anya na sie mabato on pesu aso doctor to force and pesu aso ho no free na mom okwa MPP mu dia ono ejinam edema MPP National Communication Team bema constituency na mu nakasa no oye a constituency executive ye kase ana we former mom
former secretary currently aspiring for regional communication officer
as is one aspiring for
central regional communications officer
zamo
aba
na some country me nimza
aba say in marking
it is say currently was aspire as the central regional communication officer okay it kwakunowa ono nso watena se ye ba bedin komo mame kwa amano so na ye ne Reverend Christian Kwabena Andrews dodo na friend of so chirabosom oh my okay papa ba amano so a ye no ebedi enkomo amantena me wadu ze
Sina yame adumo
no me koso ho
boko wo hwe sene ne o my koso ga
se ezemo na mo abem
oh enya buy mu nsem enye ye na wa buy mu nsem but ye ne wonyina ahu se
okay
ye ka omambo dia na ye NDC ne His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ye promise say ye dey reset eba be magana for no kreso reset na ye hunu ye na ye timi hu say it's for the benefit of Yankasa Ghana for most of the things His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing is to benefit the nation. And no also na eka say yepe. And no also na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Oh yeah.
Amaye. Inti yeka say o man we mu de ne nsema ekoso a e boko ne asumdwe. And a meme di free of aban no mpeso so e de bema etiefo nyina.
Okay.
Na ye hyem nkran say no kra yenim say nneoma bi ekoso. And nneoma na ekoso no no Ghanaian is regretting for nneoma na ekoso no. At least even at the backyard of NPP4 almost strongholds about 54% of Gen Z's or more. But Jerry Gen Z's as only momo. Sebi Mr. Emeka. The from 1994 to I think
one more bomb on WhatsApp for you. Menu be kasa. Or say young Gen Z is in the we are not too serious in life.
Well, once they are comfortable to describe themselves as Gen Z's, then I also be okay to describe them as Gen Z's.
You are not too serious in life. Okay, we no catch him say me men is kana on fan na baby and fan NGBB. Now me say I don't give my money to somebody who is not too serious in life. That's
all.
Yeah.
Inti wa we hwe na ekoso na ukwa Ashanti region. Musa dankwa no so we bi oyeye. What should I say? Eastern region and Ashanti region are a year NPP4 back yada or mutimi gather votes when it comes to election, every general elections. Which means say Gen Z for no journey NDC power and they still have the confidence in NDC. Now more Ashanti region, any Eastern region, I just say NDC party papa so be a journey. Now Northern region, ne Savannah region, ne Eastern region, Central region, Greater Accra region, Bono region. And other regions are Akakano. So how they that means that we are going to get 90% of Jay-Z's. Omunim say, Yaka on my muna, a cost ye, ama, in fact, they then say, Omako school. They know the difference between idea or how any idea, how do you say comfort? Any so good. Among the difference between those things, they experience what they call transportation, they experience what they call food, feeding, and they experience all those things are SOB, etimi from nature say, oh, whatimi anya ahotoso na say, whatimi anya or how be also. The dynamics say almost munim. NPP4 are now threatened by the fact that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or ye Juma or Bojuma, I'm a gun of one in him say or Bojuma. Na dabia any embrebia no so no omo ka kire mo say mumpa ade bi nye. You see, when we came to power in the first 4 months or to 6 months no, now NPP grassroots they were so annoyed with the minority in parliament because their issue was that minority in parliament no omo find most of exposés ne emba mo nyansom enye propaganda. Ntina omo blambast omo. That was the time they were even threatening that Afinyo Makin should be removed as a minority leader in parliament.
Sir.
Yes, we're all in this country. Ebia one tia, ye de tia, onim.
Minim?
Ena meka so, one tia, ye de tia. Ena yinim so. Some time ago, they were lambasting Afinyo Makin. All because, no one junior almost say, they were exposing a lot of things. And I know in fact, in Yoma Bedbre, and free parliament in back, and ma, communicators in Yabinka. Because when you go to the radio station and that TV station, now who catches Excellency John Dramani Mahama sound. Obi ave catch her say, oh, his Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What's me $1 about from? What's me fuel? At least the proper management has made fuel prices to go down.
And see, of course, so no management.
Yeah, case management. Mark Jerry. Yes. When we talk about management, when you say what you way, say fear, no matter how comfortable it is. Now say one managing a year, no be basa. But the fact that you have managed, I mean, you feel comfortable, no, and you are managing it, definitely saying, you go back basa, a bit more medium. You see, mostly we don't do politics with fuel prices because we know the implication of doing fuel politics with fuel prices. We compare and tell you what you should do. In fact, NPP4 could have been able to reduce the price of fuel looking at the international market prices looking at the dollar, no, and come to me manage dollar in a year, they could have been able to reduce the price of fuel. By virtue of Omontimia reducing fuel, Omontimia and manage dollar in a year, no. So they could not be able to reduce the price of fuel. That's what I'm talking about, the proper management of our system. Fuel no, what amanane. And the dollar and the quarter fuel. So if your dollar is bad and the international market is bad, that means that you cannot do anything about it. But when the international market is bad and you are able to manage your dollar well, that means you can do something about the prices of fuel. In the case of MPP, international market prices were not so bad, but their dollar prices were so bad. Until the buyer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, titi fuel so international market prices were better, and they were able to manage the issues of dollar. So, that was where we are talking about the proper management.
That is one of the factors.
Yes, that's one of the factors, right? And one of the factors that NDC had right is the price of dollar. No, from two of us. No, answer that one.
No, me dispute you.
Good. I'm happy you're not disputing it.
Said you're okay. And say, "Oh, can I say, yeah, I buy no was on exchange rate in here."
Yes.
One of the factors now, Emma for cost on exchange rate. And which no major factors, no, and no, beyond your controls.
Yes.
It is a form going to say a conform.
Good.
About from number related is and the cost so I'm for back and more than my.
So that is why I am joining the two together. So what year me here? Mikasha was under MPP, the fuel prices at the international market was better. But because of dollar, no one team manage dollar. You see, management of the dollar relies on the shoulders of the government or TISO. You know that, true or false?
That's correct.
Good. It is a one team manage dollar here. Now fuel, international market prices cry lower. Still, the price of fuel will go up. And I'm saying that in the issue of NDC, prices of international market prices was better, just as MPP it was better. But the difference is that NDC to me, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or to me, Pacho, no,
Manikasa.
Yes, sir. Let me.
But I told you, Manikasa.
Are you the one who's in the
program? I'll come to you. Meteo.
Senior, Mark Pacho, when my program.
Well, Manikasa, yeah, I'll come to you.
So he's admitting the fact. In fact, the interjection no, it's an admission of the fact that it's an admission of the fact that international market prices were better. But the reason why the fuel prices kept on rising and rising, galloping all the time, no, they say the dollar was galloping. Dollar never cost. So you couldn't manage the fuel prices. So that is one of the things. And now, you see, the Jay-Z we are talking about, that in Ashanti region, it means 54% of the Jay-Z support. They know. They learn. They look at things like air cost. You see, one thing, once a driver for more, they are not making noise. Have you done the drivers are not making noise? Even with the fuel prices are cost 12%.
One more hint for increment.
Yes, they've hinted for increment. Definitely. Once the price have gone up, they will hint for increment. But you realize that they are not making so much noise. And even transportation, they are not making a lot of noise. You know why? Because the fact that there is an issue in Israel, Iran, and US, it will affect the prices of fuel. Oil. Imported by Ghana. It will affect the prices, and it is affecting the prices. The layman, meaning now everyone own him. Say your friend BB, Russia, friend say Israel, Iran war. I'm telling you, having to realize that the noise that people were making, or am I using even the right word? Let me don't use the noise. Complaints now among for be making under MPP. They realized that it was mismanagement, so they were making a lot of complaints. But under NDC, they realized that no, for Modia. In fact, in any case at all, dollar now, do cocoa to wall. Boy, a bread dollar no was it. Inti Akase ABI, Bompire say, Sir Israel won the best of it. Look, when you go to international communities, even US, US prices is going high. Fuel. Russia, prices are going high. China, prices are going high. India.
It's not just international factors. It's minimum prices cost.
Absolutely. Nobody has ever disputed this. Nobody. Even MPP. Yeah. I'm debating all the time. They have never disputed the fact that prices of international market, it may affect prices in Ghana. Nobody has ever disputed it. And look, let me tell you something. Yeah, in the NDC. When we started hearing the propaganda of issues of fuel prices, was under President Akufo-Addo. Time no president be the president no. Okojina sum piesu e the fuel prices politics. President Kufo Gala. Who carries some of the politics? Knowing very well that international market prices were in favoringness.
Professor Amelsuzu.
Oh, that was something. It started from President Kufo. Fuel prices politics. That was where it started. NDC, it is when MPP all the time we entertain MPP into our radio stations, our TV stations. No more they are dada and tro. Nini omuntimi nyeno eno no omuka ho asem. Nene, we have come to realize that internal doso. The old lady in the room out hono. Onim say international prices affect Ghana prices. So do you realize that most communicators of NDC, we don't even struggle to talk about this one. Ne here Ghana for no omuka mayeti. And we address those matters. So minority in parliament can do whatever they want. It's their role as minority in parliament. So but you see, we are not afraid of criticisms. No. We only suggest that so criticisms now it should be constructive. Man in criticisms. We say ade we okay. Wa wonim na se. And yes, dear propaganda. That's what we want you to do. That is a responsible opposition. But when you realize that one kasa win near also, but yet still you go ahead to do politics with it. That is why I have a problem with you. Now, when somebody me new opinion or your grandfather, Ibrahim Mama, you will stage an investigation against him.
Yeah, almost said Shraj investigate.
Shraj investigate Ibrahim Mama. You see, one thing I want you to know is that we have never been afraid of investigations. We have never been afraid of investigations. And in fact, I just want to even know the main reason to almost say. In fact, they mentioned a lot of things. They mentioned
Oman Penny using the private
jet. That
Daman Mines.
Yeah, linking it to Daman Mines. No, right?
It's almost suspected conflict of interest.
We have never been afraid of issues of investigations. And maybe I know credit these are some of the things that make us in Nyachum. Nyachum, edubeko wom, edubeko bunsam jam. Nyachum, hypocrisy. Even in the Bible, say we are Nyachum. God hates Nyachum. Even the Quran in the Bible, none of these acceptable religions. Even in tradition.
Na you can Nyachuma. He won't Nyachum.
Huh?
Him for the Nyachum.
Hypocrite.
Metazio. Na me say him for.
And I will explain to you, my Jerry. Let me explain to you.
Oh,
it's not for you to say. No. It's not, my Jerry. No, it's not for you to tell me. Say, man, I don't know what I'm making it. But the person what you saying.
Oh, the Quaku
no, yes. No, mechanism. Because a minority in parliament, we are Nyachum for, and a Nyachum the only Bekum some gem. Nyachum Bible chiri, Quran chiri. That's Nyachum and Omoye, our parliament. What is wrong with Minua Penny? And I mean, Wakitwa, a private jet. Now we pay private jet, and I am in Yoma. Now see, because it's an official duty, Inti Sanfa Ghana si can pim dua Esanko high private jet. I then watch me. Sebi o Mr. Meka.
May you say the word mental sebi nka.
Thank you. I withdraw. Nipa bia ni ha. Ote ha obey some mistake no. They have it. The fact that at the end belonging to an individual and I can have access to it. Yo Chrome ha as we speak. Do you know that some CEOs, Magere, some CEOs are using their private cars for their official duties. Some CEOs, and ministers, a minimum use private cars for their official duties. So if your mama has a private jet, sebi, Ninya kitwa or private jet, no say Minya kitwa me power chow, Ghana nyoma na ekoye, woso ka Ghana phone humbi. And then the ekoye is going to leverage and save all of us in this country. Intim power chow. My private jet no, na fanko na beto fuel gum ediako. And no bonny bang. And the most nyachum seven Americans or more person more linking it to Damano. Look, Magere, make them in some a letter dated 12 March 2024. And this letter is saying that request for notice of no objection pursuant to section 52 of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 Act 703. This is it. And can we remember I'm a work kind.
Oh, some freelance
please. Letter we so you've confirmed the authenticity of it, right? Into the ben omoya last 2004 as at 2024 as at March 12. Now President Mama the power. My dear, please answer me no tie phone. Now President Mama the power. Letter and when they sign here. That is Professor Patrick K. Ayeshila, what is it? That chief director. He signed it
Lands
for
and natural
Lands and Natural Resources. Or signing him a minister. No? This is the letter indicating that under President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, they were in preparations. Say, omo kwai. Say, omoni gold fields. Enko din kita ho. No mo ndane sa concession no. Enfama EMP. It was done under President Akufo-Addo. So how on earth? We abedane to say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Edema Nunua. And don't forget that the thing was ending. Internet so obifa. And yet NDC are buying and Edema Ibrahim Mahama. APP are buying under His Excellency President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia. Omo dane ade no. Sada my minds no. Edema me nana me nua panyini Ibrahim Mahama. So we know all this is, and these letters no they are public letters. Their letters are yan fantite obianim letters we hu asem. Obianim agreement we hu asem. Including the MPP. Munim letters we hu asem. Muna mu signing here. Now because of nyachuma Bible impe Quran impe no. That propaganda. You want to link it to the fact that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saving this country from the plight. I mean, from using a mining cigar and a current private jet. You see, MPP4 they are one of the groups in this country when it comes to development of this country. I'm on pet. Okay, say June 3rd. Circle was it June 4th or June 3rd? Second, you know, flooding a month for
June 3rd.
Men kind of month for you. A month for Pihu, yeah. Sapa pay croya, no one can say no, there be one of the reasons in Tia circle to me flooding and say, side drainage never on, side drainage Cassena or Hono. I'm on dredge. International Buguma, it will flow. Now, causing damage war. Into my family, Sika, maybe equipment because he has all the equipment to float on water to do the dredging over there. Or say, I buy. Me, my machines may use me machines, but Muntia Fualka. MPP for PA. I see, oh, you want the contract a man in your something that was necessary to cycle for. I did a cool amount for only person who said no, I did a cool amount for into my saving the country from next another disaster basically watching. or see my family mansions and konkoye. And before see, oh, in conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. Omo yes, my papa ni jaye. Under their regime, you are dining and whining with this same Ibrahim Mahama. Why are you dining and whining with him? Because you know that he's a competent entity. That's why more dining with Ibrahim Mahama, MPP4. You are dining and whining with him. Because you know that he's competent to do the work. Now, so NDC are back because Nuyano, president, he has failed to be competent, right? His competency has sadly vanished. Are we not happy that we are having a Ghanaian-owned contractor getting to mine our own gold? Do you have any other Ghanaian company independent, just like Ibrahim Mahama company where independent or make me mine our gold? Do you have? No, what do you have? Any Ghanaian company competent like his His Excellency Ibrahim Mahama? Wallah. Like Ibrahim Mahama, I'll make my minus our gold. Okay. You don't have. Look, Ibrahim Mahama has been in power. I mean, he has been a businessman since 1998. He has worked for NDC. He has worked for MPP. He has worked for NDC, MPP, all over. By virtue of the fact that his brother, President Mahama, Wabe president, that does not mean that he has failed, he has lost his competence. Not at all.
When in bank, he be a friendly data bank.
Meaning data bank.
Sir, they are working. I'm just drawing your attention.
Yes.
When you know when you're not. Because when you're not, so
this is your problem.
What 30 minutes and so what? And then you're 30 minutes now. But when you say, even though no 30 minutes, the program started.
That's the issue.
And the American said, so to say they are working. Ibrahim Mahama, a competent person.
Yes.
When it comes to mining, and you're gonna pen on mining.
And you're gonna pen on mining.
Yes, and American.
Yes.
And you're gonna pen on mining.
Of course.
Or mining or other countries.
Yes.
It's your na mining concession biaba. Na Ibrahim Mahama ye the amana. Mining concession, yes, tara down your Kawai. So they can a process. Even the earlier extinct cubic.
Yes.
A process.
Of course.
And yes, and in president Anna Kukru de Mano. Now, Momadia, they say, a parliamentary ratification, Sana court and Matias. Also, make a bank give it to say data bank.
Into parliamentary ratification, 1 year. What happened to the extinct cubic? Was it not?
Oh, but I said court.
It was cancelled, right? So he didn't pass through the proper procedures. It was cancelled.
No, listen. Maybe I'll be free, Benny.
Okay.
Said you're working Ibrahim Mahama. Why, yeah, Juma since 1998. Excellent.
Yes.
Data bank in the America. Data bank has become a transaction advisor for Ghana for years, including this current administration. Oko Bank of Ghana, best 3 transaction advisors. Data bank din edikan.
What were your question? No.
But what did you say?
What were your question? No.
Maybe so. What did you say?
Okay.
I am drawing the attention. Say at the end of the year, think a way there.
What were your question? No.
Yeah, I'm done.
Good. See that, Magyere. The difference between what we are seeing today, and what we saw under President Akufo-Addo, was that they develop interest in taking loans. Bonds. You know that. How? They develop interest in taking bonds because Who be our question? Who be our question? Me answer.
Bonds.
Who be our question? They develop interest in taking. Don't forget that before NDC left power, they said now 122 billion. Before NDPP left power, 8 years before they left power, now Ablotek was 714 billion. 700 billion. Now I'm coming. No, wait. You take your time, Pacho. 1, 2, you see, yeah, Kasama take what you say.
And it's not me.
You have asked a question.
Parliament. And you too.
What is that question?
It was approved by Parliament.
Oh,
NDC parliamentarians.
Please.
Parliamentary hands have never rejected.
And I am telling you why we are saying that the NDC was complaining about that one. One, the NPP then developed interest in taking loans, in taking bonds, because they knew that anytime Omukoji loan, 12% of this kind of that amount goes to data bank.
It is not true.
Why,
it is not true.
What do you use to counter what I'm saying? No, what do you use to counter it? You can't just say
because now listen.
What are you using to counter it? Give me any document that indicates
so when the document be approved,
so I have alleged.
No. You can't allege on my program to
no.
It's not true.
So if I have said that this is what happened, and I will say what is the basis of who can say
Amantara, they are making
No. I have made a claim
because
no. You see, I have made my claim, right? If you think that my claim is wrong, then you tell me that anyway, and I'm telling you that you are sitting here. If you make claims and they are wrong, I will show you evidence of you making claims and they are wrong.
Mamika we on. Yenyina yeboa o mine say e be chichiro mine no. They say loans are working. The reason Tia me pe Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. There be a radio, so I say, oh, you're one of my finest politicians. This is the reason. Now me grant an interview, and he was complaining bitterly. Mark Jerry, MPP, loans. Omokaya anti me call Parliament. And I could demand parliamentary hazards a capture a bra ye kwaji bosia. Mege mono sabre no NDC MP be no sorry reject it say salon way yen penny mamoje yen NDC for ya reject it.
Okay, let me tell you the reason.
Hazards in capture say both MPP MPs NDC MPs let me tell you the reason.
Let me tell you the reason.
Intellectual discussions.
Of course, I am happy that you are mentioning intellectual discussion. Let me tell you something.
You get it?
Let me tell you.
But Oji say yes.
Let me tell you. Of course. Majority in parliament. You see?
Now we are
First of all, when a system is mismanaged, we now fall on loans. You see, when you read finance, it tells you that one of the ways we do to generate funds are loans. And why do we go to take loans? Because there is a system that is not going on. And it's not loan. Now the majority then in parliament, that was NDC in parliament, because they themselves, they knew that the country needed development, but the NPP has squandered everything in our public purse. So what do we do? Because we also needed development, because at the end of the day, someone loan now, that means that we will not get development which will affect their constituents. Okay, loan. So there are money available, no? The administrative works. Now, we common fund let's say that the common fund shouldn't go anymore. First common fund and yet in your administrative works are no development will go to the district again. Which MP that is rational and non-person development in the community? These are some of the things they use to pinch on every MP. Now a pencil, even myself and you, Mark Jerry. Mostly I want to set layman's examples. We are all in this country. You say now minor titia pansa under President Akufo-Addo. And what you needed to do was to go and take loan to support the economy.
Yeah, I understand.
And
though.
every MP wanted the economy. Remember, every MP
Uh-huh.
wanted the economy to be supported. So if they have accepted it, it's because they want progressive development. Ebekoso. Sebi o. Omukoji loan. Somebody shall pokuasi kwainase. Omukoji loan. Somebody shall Ashanti region. Your friends swam run about. Omudi shall here. Who didn't need development to go there? NDC needed development to go to Ashanti region. MPP needed development to go to Ashanti region. Pokuasi, we needed development to go there and other areas. But what is in our public purse? What did we be for private jets?
Oh, sir.
Oh yeah. What yeah. My friend, see what? What did you now? What did we be? What is COVID-19 is car. And what is chair? World Bank for this Maya so Munjina mun support economy. What did my parliamentary candidates? And we are development. What we do is that we grant you the permission to go and take loans, at least to develop our country for us. Okay. Because me nanano here someone leap. Ya fa say ka say ya nanano mo ayemo mo leap. My mom leap biem. Na ya fa sa leap no, any administrative work was soro ha. Na me nanano onko da kom. Sebi me sere o mejero. Go e na o ma meji leap. Eboa ono ankasa no ho. No more say because MPP has mismanaged the economy. My uncle loan. Yeah, first I live sick and administrative work was right. Will you be happy? No NDC parliamentarian would be happy to see that, including no MPP person will be happy. So unanimously, all of them will support say Omukoji loan. That is the basics and the reasons why in here we all accept for loans for Omukoji. And then here can say. There are certain things that our parliament where the minority in parliament gets to accept those things in our parliament. True or false? Currently, the minority in parliament they get to accept them.
And
why?
When you accept
because
it, you shouldn't come back and complain.
No. We will complain because we are saying that the reason for which a ba hono, a choir mufasu ba hono, and they complaining. It's not the loan you've gone to take as such. Do you remember that when MPP was taking loans and doing all these things, doing KK party and all these things, you know? Now you are paying at forcing. See our finance minister. You plan the country into chaos, financial chaos. You heard it. When you are paying Isaac Odongo, no, can't say you plan the country into chaos. You are not managing the financial economy. You are not managing it well.
Okay.
We said all these things. So if you refuse to hear from us, now come for Asema Bar. Then don't you say you better know how I actually high. I'm a new matitia pansai. Ama yankwala school asay ama yen ma minimum mo dwom asay nurses for yentuo muka doctors for yentuo muka. Do you remember that in this country there was this rumor, let me put it across, that if something wasn't that, no, it wasn't even a rumor, the speaker then speaker is here, Honorable Abambagon, okay, say if parliament didn't do something, the parliament anye bibi in the next few months, Ajumayefo omuntimi nya kutia. Say what kai sa statement, you know, that the Speaker of Parliament said that never in the history of this country, in this fourth republic, have we ever had any minister, and now have we ever had anybody saying that the Parliament anye bibia yentimi ntia Ajumayefo ka. That shows that the level at which now MPP before Titi or man we are passing, it was outrageous. Look, in this country, that meant that porous economic system in the face of country. First, now when you can say galloping economy.
Okay.
Now book galloping economy. Now teacher will say, there's a galloping economy. We'll say, well, how can the economy be gallop? But under the regime of the economic whiskey that was kept in place to manage the economy of this country, Dr. Baumia, the economy was galloping. That was where students, they use Ghana as a case study when they are talking about galloping economy under President Akufo-Addo and then Dr. Baumia as the economic management team. When students are now doing research, no one person who say what is a galloping economy, they just go and take their script and look at it because they experienced it. What is developing economy under your regime?
All right.
Look, what I will tell the MPP is that look,
all right.
Now, our mind it is benefiting even you people more than us. Sebi, when they talk of businessmen, say yes, when they talk of businessmen, MP for money businessmen. Say yes, and NDC, yes, spring up. When they talk of businessmen, money businessmen.
Okay,
but the economy is even benefiting people more than us.
Kwakunowa, what's a Bashir Ramantan, a member of the NDC National Communication Bureau? Well, Kunowa.
Yeah, one of them may be so there. Introduction because topic. Oh no! When you were talking, I kept quiet. Please, please observe that for the listeners. No. For the matter, for the more bunima. When you were let come back and be armies in Mankasa. My dear, no spend 33 minutes or started 10. Or started. I went on your Facebook listening. My Jerry, all the time I mean, she say phone pimpima. Where it say. Oye enyimbre nda yaw do china fi enyimbre we nya adaje watu ogbo ase na woza atu ha na oduwe bia de bia asema makan de se nya akwenya na betna free do na nkrofuru tewa sabi yere wan gotin na nyim nyansa ntina wa afro de bia adum bi na odomo meda ba ha e bia ba bia kopu amanye ku bi na wasi baby a prekwenyin aponchi kwesati odu wo ma oso wa adosraze nti ebia wo hwe dem ku nu mu na no wo hwe ku nu ma no also in the country of the blind one eye man is the king nti atodo ma beta nche de nyanso wo wiaze yin wo tirim Jerry American dem na mi chia fi mantum efo papa pankan ke eduma kwen nesi amamba na Magari can say me can the mass me count. My dear is my menstrual mentum via. When you say 2015, have been consistent with your oha. The be a smoba, Mass America be a meme that you won't see. Mando quar or daisy. Magari, we're free though. You know, big him, Mamma de Casa di Ropa. 1 pound on one chips by an amabwa.
Na Casa di Ropa is a 1 year.
That be that said, no 1 year, Juma, but that time now, American will be Jimmy to something to be by.
What the buy?
Magari, where free do with the confused by an amabwa. In say me, but bah, me, that's my American or down from him. That Magari, sometimes to me, Modian Marco, move videos, no do. The Marco, bear in fear, Bassa, Sembia, and better Hakai. Then dots today were from the men's anchor, the mass and Motu Masiaka. Magari. Abranti wa me ehun reisia NDC no abaye uku awodom na doma na nokwara wofra nokwara ina abonsan ho
ede no kan ye no
Magari na sebo kan de hwan na yedi petrol politics eba first na kufuo gallon po be nyani din kufuo gallon no oye kufuo de koye politics nte we ti no na free SHS product into onyi ni onyi mehwe free SHS akufu ado first batch funi bia nti dam nyama no onyi kufuo gallon was as
na bodwe
free SHS ebe na nanse ala 2017 one was one chance o kan won o didi pete na ndewa bete orugbo yi dey free SHS anko anko school nke school bo won bia anko Magari kufuo gallon obede as a result dey mbra na nsu a short na dem yellow gallon no what is nsu no what to them gallon ni kufuo gallon onye petrol bia e kan wa what petrol e ye politics what kan ya or ye committee for joint action or ye NDC for the yim atamo se kan ho ama banyu do Kwesi Pratt that time no University of Cape Coast wo ba science auditorium what blackboard be si ho ahoy mu na wo kan ho what onye ma ntie ba ye beto do no what to abama atamo so ba yo say I will reduce fuel drastically oba us no gina kira dem when to ban to drastically them 2008 na mu na Dwamama then vice running mate no ye MP obole ofu apa no ka de NDC wa hwekufuo NHS na wode ba no na we hunde kufuo ni tirim ya din papa kufuo yo bi o de mim on pega na fu asem na health insurance no nke itwa kro yi de twabio na NDC wo mo kwan mo ba ba ma one time premium was baba that was 2008 promise when you akwenya bedza abando that time no vice president in fear basa on man pay mo su wi yami for the crazy me yadze on man no bwana sawa the mama basa na ma aka busme basa no tuado Ghana for say so du hokoko betre to abaman man na bedi dem be no so oye driver's mate Inti spare driver. This is your one kitan. What the kitan 4 years when ya one term premium no wa bill. Copy mende. Dabon kwafuna nende wa ba mi a abranti free SHS ni we be jana no gwa fa bibia mani. Marjorie Orkasa no osin de fuel no bo. Na one wa managing ye na hia ya ba na fuel no bo no wo fom. Marjorie under MPP time fuel no bo kwasoro no. Odu baby na crude international market no was 130 to 135 Marjorie mo bo akachem. Between 2021, 2022, 2023. International market no who could do 130 and this wa be here na did work the one was that be until ya be $50 per barrel. Marjorie as a 2020 as a 2025 somewhere 2025 no mu na ba na say yele po okuni be na it was around 60 na ntokwa Iraq why the water to mbra o manpayin e be ka the waka che finance minister na energy minister na that time no nam 58 no do 60 po one wo benya ho kwan that na be from there is a rainfall is what the tax import 1 cedi per gallon what about to do Marjorie into the member it 130 per barrel per barrel no be 58 or be 2050 a into benka the maze biani na anabo ye pe timo mbegina nze kohwi no no gina so be anya atwomoro nko oro into the menka sa gina ha kan ina no wan himam nko yi ni yi na je kwa himam abai munne sakra na me yagudi ye ina no bodu obeya me ya da abo obra awie na ekohwe betira radio dudi e ko support u party ya so de nam ho famfamo keke ho a wodidi no wodido agbojamu won so sini awada me wonam ayi wo friend gold board fu so say
na de obi ma gold board ma so sen gold board ya restrictive tender
restrictive ogbe ma ka baje mi na ka botu kasi ka mi na botu supply ho bi kasi Marjorie wo gbe me me si wo gbe me ka botu supply nka won krata asugom e start to kasi yende bo
na me say
na me si wo gbe me wo gbe se wo gbe when Marjorie when wo frefra wa won yankofo stand up me hold me in the GTV impo orutwa you na just otwifi wezo TV independence 20 last year this year ni na GTV or mine TV no when you cameras I was trying to otwifi you wezo TV what then na me
Independence Day no
oh Marjorie go and check I know ya roho
feed no
wezo dado
GTV
Jimmy check go to GTV call YouTube call
unfortunately Independence Day baby I'm one intimate me
na Messi send na ya what to you go and take it and watch
magakwe
oye wezo no watcha what mu watch che Marjorie me brother wa beta wa bodo na no bebre na mamanka asam kakra also do baby babin bekede the whole system here want to introduce oye minority embra 2020 ya to abewe ya in the parliament akwai hang parliament apaya se ho wamba e kai dey wo catch order wa e che duka tempo go gina kare wa catch minority mo won parliament bio copy me dey ho mo wo be ya mo in the way the won parliament that time in the budget I don't want to call appropriation I don't way one year when speaker back at the matter into on MPP for one mismanagement now you mismanagement out when you mismanagement Marjorie a friend my church and smoke my church be Marjorie saying universal merchant bank no your merchant bank and amobwa and we na your better na ya kan me business person me ma medjuma upon all policy me ye na mo nko ya ben adwuma da de bia ma medjuma nkakra nkra na bugudu me ye nti mo hunde obi suru ye na adwuma na bia pe de baby owo na Marjorie me ti ha mo insa bank bibiba na mo into me fi da motu ma supply me fa ma nko me ti bako it is obi su otono ko ya akonya won ho ya Marjorie me nji ndro ya bon but ya na ye nuanu wo twa beka de mo yipro fi bible mu ba ye wa ha ina no obi di merchant bank ka e mani nti wo gina do da to merchant bank mo onya bi ntwe mo oba ya asem da mbre no GSS nti wanse embra da otumi bubo na no euro ma igbodo no wase o kufo na abedu mpo no wadi loan man de yi po no wadi adu wakeka ambro da bubo na euro da this kind of kwa da what merchant bank mo be universal merchant bank obi no on a lot no asa ende ninu be the president ade cho to plane na us in there Sabi. Oh, there be no daba. Also, on uncle, me bank come in con. So my catch almost be a business person. Come in, and I say. My Jerry. On I go to no private jet recruitment.
Private jet, and yet 2 days. Private jet is will be a faka. Ababa bidu. Now,
my dear, mamma, I'm medicine boss to shadow mama.
Yes.
My dear, my medicine boss to shadow mama. My Jerry, Miss Mamma medicine also shadow mama. Shadow mama. My Jerry.
I've played that. Sadia no, it is.
My Jerry. On I go to Ibrahim go to our jet to Kruma. Magdam in a winning jet. Ibrahim in a jet in Bano. Na old one, vice president or Kwankwa jet. Was that also a prudent or my pain to Kwankwa jet? Was that not no jet crew? May also die ambulance. Not a jet no say known to. Why did you go and rent that jet? Why? You see, he parry had that. Listen, there, a man pay mama, Oba Bemia 2025 will be there, Bemi. A kind of vice president, or Yaram wasn't required away. Yeah, high private jets in the way. That time, Ibrahim only jet to Kruma.
And I know available now one family.
And I'm missing no so
available.
No, missing no you do her. Number 2, a man paying a mamma so them to within 2025 for 2 crowns or high jet. Ma, a mamma sister station will catch a good jet today. Now no, as some no cado man paying high jet. Obey friend, obey resign, on resign. Oh my God, that time and the bread of the jet. The bread no how to poor, but carry there. In Brato, Yanchem see war, Boasu Quem war me. You know what this is, in Biwazo, South Africa. In the kind of jet, no, you had a man who jet net too. Not jet, Miss Hapa, but you can even a warrior. It is just to divert attention about where was a one the do into the Yabahami, as some of the Yakaya come and Babun when there. Was one to Chacha, was one to Coco Wenzi, was one doorway, never my brother, you was warm. And you're there. The man brandy a war at all. What catch here? We need more war, brewum. What catch a minute more war, Sanko Faber here. What catch a Yamita say, Kutasafo, more task, the cocoa now berries is one. It's what about what to cocoa Marco 6,500 per bag. And what on 2,500? Nakoka will catch 2,500 or bro also say 3,001. No, also say 3,001. Namp impert who hear me, don't more 3,001. I read 2,005 or bro also say 3,001. What logic is that? Go give them that. Number 2, what catch a hand galam say what by was in our be able to say. Galam say what catch was in our be able to say. In the galam say today, where 12 boy in Ukrom, Abranti in Ukrom, what to be a bole what to galam say what bole. And Cambria yet in Ecobolia, I don't confirm so man will go and Cobakina. It's in there what to galam say what bole. What catch a hand there in Bebun what bam, Bebun ring that quite home tongue had the bill. In Bebun Biara, but you paid my or Sunday walk off for I do also our friend 1 3. Now 1 3 and asking that Eduma quote saying, you pay Basson obey. It's and the people can about go and the jumper, a Bible more torchlight. Sabaka and you have a chin, Boko to, and Wabafuka, Boka, Chade, Wabaya, 24-hour economy. In the Bible that to Chai. One was Wako pass the act, Wapo, or beat to what? Where secretariat. The Major Madoya 24-hour secretariat, no one more wapun for. 1 year 24-hour secretariat. I was able to 24-hour economy. One work with my wapun for. Now, Jerry, what catch you over Women's Bank? Women's Bank, when embassy are for what you get, where 2 when you do that about saying or that about was sleep or send or buy you 1 running mate. In the band or your running mate, Wabano was now your Uber for this will be one or cotton crack. Then I say, I'm moving there. A friend by our NDC. No, what band was our flat house. I'll be a maybe a man who are first one. And bra at a young chabby or quackabo. There's Munia Mabus of fire 1 year, where Uber for Cobancra. Not today be. Okay, could be soon under Worsuma or share my paying canton on Sumuni. No,
Vice President or Juma. Was it the Oya?
Miss
Is it
an census women's as almost or better champion of women's bank?
And a women's bank in Maya doesn't mean the vice president.
Oh, no, the my brother, what catch and there? What be automatic posting? I'm a teachers in the nursing. It's Yada Bukakwas lie. And the Waba teacher Fumpa where post to 1 hour. Sabi won't try worker. What better what better the one could be binchra one. Do I see a issue crack in you quite a demonstration. Majari, you know, so when you heard you, Majari. No, what the boy wants some money, the one weapon who are the more you be also, or a social democrat. Social democrat, Bredo, and then in the Yara, one now wait to them when you're fra. Why demonstration? They were real school. What about last week? They were here, Mubana. Majari, last week Tuesday, they were on your what company one way, one boom prayer, and the secretaries now also wash on my rubber. So I can't, me tell one, pa, Obia sabi ka wadi dem mai hunde wa bombadia we tuma
ko so mobile no ma
Majari but one can't to wa ba yan yetutu ntefigu wo ho
na so obia ntu ntese wo mfa
ba ayi wo betena wo ka de wo kwa secretaries na de wo hwompo wo bu en ka gina de
ka but say nye substance
that's obia mbede o meka da so ka no gba ma atro obia be ka so wo ka no gba Majari if
I say wo pa chese no
ma say gba wo hye ya ni na wa titin eni tira wo ya settings ama asem bia beda wo ma ya aka if oba wasi ora we be gina ya misbe kwaji bosa na ya acha edi wo ba ntuntum po mfa nko gina court no we oba ka cho de makanofori atambra zoom la your friend Maslok mami she was tried in absentia she was tried convicted in absentia. The laws of Ghana, if a criminal order act proceedings, act 30, or better by show there, say accused no available, the court can go ahead and take evidence and trial. So what is stopping them for trying for yata in absentia? If they indeed had evidence, it means they won't try in absentia. Say tomorrow could do a friend do one in the case no do. Say Majari, what's the Oraba, what's the camp for will be 20 billion. But in any one in the way. Na wa yi pedi mo begina free kado ora atodi yo se nkrata was according to Gujetu no ba na nkrata was na atodi former Domrevo o se nkrata was na bi o mpa what the teacher ebro wo kwa hu mpa onye ma mu hu a woton brother wa tutun da nkrata no the teacher da mai bi onye Majari nkomo a wo ka kira hen wo ka kira na wo ba so sen ya da wo botwam Okujetu kan one communications officer okan o manpai ma manara okan campaign time o say yin akwanya mfeda okogina imbrase begom o say kan one majority dey also where you so select you in the so no wo ba no aye buburija road na dem hanadem it Majari se wo bejira no wakeka da nsem ya me radio jara ka na here na we reduce na am do the one you know campaign Majari says that membu na mahono. Yes, I membu na mahon. Bribe yara baby a meti kwa shibu. And the pay mubu ensu na bi wo ho. Me yimia megu ho, me de egu nsum. Me de seminar to do. Ma ahoro kuma be ko bu ensu abugo. Wa atu mesin da tin yaman. He say ma share wo. Kaina no bu yentum ntwe. Kaina light bill no bu yentum ntwe. Ehun. Majari, adwuma akoma fi a mentima for some time na be 4 or 5 months everything crying. Moko na bills a wo dey gumbo be say na me ya ansama be dem ha na because me yo metutu medundu me bibia nsama be da wa na November wo mam 250 December mo kwada wa kote oye 30th mo confirm at 50 am go 31st night mo do mo ko 29 be so 30th na me fi wa ko December ba 150 January mo ko 220 odenya obiara ntimo ma atutu ni bi medundum bi biara so lai bi ro bayen. These are the realities on the ground. Yin sama manfo wayi warukom yin sama manfo waruko what happen warukom na bejina na ya kwanya na bejina na na PPF anyada na PPF na bosa wokoje na bosa musmu bai finance minister last week yala also ono obobu sempo obobu se di traka 17 billion just to pay for salaries and wages. Each child there, I work at Obama Edman, quite Obama Edman. Who are waiting for worry you my banks here and pool. Just what can we try walk out. Just what Busa and said with a track out. Nayawaha also $1 before $1 by the way with before. Gold reserves all no more $1. No more somewhere Piagum, no more somewhere to more about Sabotobio. The more you know. Ghana for one star no na odu baby a oya fekeke wo be yo di wan ka hwenjro Nembo mabatu udra. No better way yatro. That is here the free the BBI. You have to petrol. My dear American, if it's a becca, it's about a you have 12 men who were MPP, but the man or the Wuje. Us and drivers were MPP Abredo under Kweko for Yeshama as a minister for transport. That be not a driver for walk demonstration under the 8 years. The only time I want to negotiation crowd COVID time was your friend distance and social distance.
Social distance.
Inti chaka no fa nan ya o so nfe ba sa. Won wo be do say e fa nan e be fa bi na me be ye be yan sales nti wo ba mo pagya an kakra. Enu mpo anye ye anye twogbe. My brother na mo boa. Nti be jan akere driver for driver for under 1 year driver for won call demonstration ma e dey bo ho. No we afire na mu gwa driver for the same yala. Say na numu ye nka abeka ifi akra adekwa abeka wo me ba sa. Wa fa besi adabraka wa fa adabraka besi circle wa fa circle besi abeka junction no wa fa abeka junction akọ your friend dey abeka ima am wa to tax force anu wo gwa drivers magari se free dey na numu ye won mu tie ya nko ye de ma mutu nkrofu gu wo kokogwa ho ti magari emi mamerika chemu nuan dey oya abofra inde mpanyinfu bebre sama wo ka gu won
na who describe it so ya abofra
o na magari emi nkam chemu da manyin
Debbie. Now, what kind of your free SHS or your massa? Withdraw,
that's a friend.
Personal.
More for the certificate or your free SHS. No, my Jerry.
Jaisa.
Oh, me
say Jaisa.
My joke,
I say Jaisa council.
My Jerry, American.
Me program in Kolana, me do ambasso.
My Jerry, my Jerry. I'll be too far to top in a come
and I'm saying,
so where you no, okay, Master.
How can me say,
Jerry, my American day, yes, sorry. Then some of your Kabiano in Billy Yima about him. And then some of been some baby and Quafocano, and the watch one one pedal over tea. The master of American, I must in Billy Yim. Young, or Olumana, Yagua Bantria, Yajibu. In some of your good year canning day in Ano, or China, what watch Rayan. What watch Rayan? You bought to me a general name, Ayaka, as my kind of your name. My game, I remember letting us where you shoot ma. You know. You come minerals a mining actor. Sexy no coated. My Jerry, my member, me time you can come from one of a letter Mona Kainina. They didn't say. He is just quoting date and signatures. My Jerry, on for letter Mona Kai content.
Nah.
But my game on Kai content. But that's it. My no.
Letter na ye dien.
Is that what but there? Oh, yeah, MPP Abredo. No, you did them concession. No, you did Ibrahim, which is not true. As we speak now, cry by my on sign. Woman consigned them contracting.
But they are all trying to demonstrate. Say, your process, make actual say.
My Jerry,
Ibrahim, I'm new be president.
My Jerry, I'm gas of intro. Per the minerals and mining act. If better by a mining way, and a bank for all natural resources belongs to the state, and it is kept in trust by the president for the people of Ghana. Into a beer by while my Jerry piece of us here go the pay here is your binder. That's as I know. Why we fear? Why was the bet? I beg good to be our assassin. Assassin. Your binder. It's Obia, but all contraja on your bind or contraja. But I say, if better a tongue, and I put in your busy, Mrs. Na ube baby, I want the year or there. The woman that you have a beside contract more than I was our man. But a pedo obiba, which obiba take some shares be away anymore. Into the man who quiet then yet. Or the Nipano or trouble by now by money permission. Don't ye individual no what site no don't one personal negotiations and agreement because what you try or baby sabine my guess out American I say. It is a Emmy na ba mo kromem. Na mo da sa tira ma akwa dan. Na bia wo time nsu ipede tu ipede obi fufuru betire ma o fiewura bibi nti bepada mo ko na mbom oye abanti hwe na yen nka mam kwai da mintumi another ipede ye extension po wo fiewa in brand chere you have to notify your landlord. It's them notification na abanti ko na abanti chere or no objection for engineers and planners na go face da man when kita wo wo kwedin only no objection to that. It's no in ye abai contract what ama. Into person can you details now because he just mentioned the headlines and then mentioned the signatory and mentioned the date without mentioning the content.
Process
the process. Listen, the CCR no
And process and
that is not the process. That is not the process of acquiring the concession.
Just to bad.
That is not the process for acquiring the concession.
Let me see.
When you read the letter, you know that the subject matter on your concession, acquisition of the concession, you apply to the minister one for prospectus, recognizance, and then you go for the money. Yes. Prospecting, recognizance, and then you go into the money proper.
And I may say, obedient to me can say. Ibrahim Mahama, Ninu Abeya presidency and Adama is also is that correct?
That point
is not. That is not. Well, we shall say the chief executive of Engineers Planning and Co. Limited. Why watch blah blah blah. Meaning say earlier letter accord.
Yes.
Request for notice of no objection pursuant to section 52 of the Minerals and Mining Act 2007. So your letter dated 8 March 2024 on the above subjects matter refers. Subsequent to your letter, the Honorable Minister requested for the advice and recommendation of the Minerals Commission pursuant to section 102 of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 Act 703. So which was received on 12 March 2024, the Commission indicates that your company has gained considerable experience in mining and is currently engaged in contract mining for Abosu Goldfields Limited, Damai Gold Mine. So, based on the representation in your letter and on the recommendation of the Minerals Commission, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has no objection to Engineers and Planners Company Limited entering into negotiations with Abosu Goldfields Limited.
Beautiful.
And
entering into negotiations with Abosu Goldfields Limited. He has no objection for you entering into negotiations with Abosu Goldfields Limited, not the government of Ghana. Do you get the drift?
I still don't get it.
Read that portion again.
Because
read that portion again.
Engineers and Planners Company Limited entering into negotiations with Abosu Goldfields Limited for the purposes of acquiring the Damai Gold Mine. So this no objection, however, does not affect the rights of the government of Ghana to approve or reject any transaction and or agreement concluded between the parties. Accordingly, any agreement concluded between you and one hand, on one hand, and Abosu Goldfields Limited on the other hand, shall be subject to the express approval or otherwise of the government of Ghana. For the avoidance of doubt, any such agreement shall not be valid.
Yes.
And no rights shall pass under such an agreement without the consent of the government of Ghana. This no objection is granted subject to the above reservations.
Okay.
Signed.
Yes. So, Magari, listen to me. That mine goes for why the concession or abide ho, but just as American as at 2024. One concession now was in own we. Now Ibrahim, engineers and planners, or your company no, or pedo or negotiations, not urgent concession or your man, but as American. But because the grant, although if you are buying what banity, or the kind in my buying now so to the damage you may and the more me pede me you go to. Tame. Say you know go to the man I between that we go first that mine and engineers and planners no not because eventually so why the margin in area or that buying in my approval into a catch order them no consent them let take cry has no effect but that's a guy also he has no effect some quiet the arrangement apart from the letter you know mukoya agreement gonna diamond for mu to me there my negotiations papa into ya dama mu the bomba so ye man na muntu kwa aban anja to mu ye man onye nti dem dwo na mu kozi nimpo no onye sunsuansu bia wa aban ne daate nje obeje atu daman no ho so won bri no oso oye afia mu no one time aso sisi go for ebe daman site no won dem iso bia yidu bio into whoever is applying biano is applying direct to the government of Ghana. You know, inquire applying, comma, will be a wage maybe. Now, anybody apart me, engineers and planners, say me could crime express interest. I will not write, I will not go and negotiate with Damai Goldfields. I will go to the Ministry of Energy, Lands and Natural Resources.
So, the point, and I may establish and say, since when the engineers and planners say yes, when we show interest. The interest now will show no. Interest now will show no. It has no. Let me tell you what the as far American interest, as far American the show interest does not mean that it was granted. But that's how American has it. Right? Oh, no. It is the process that this you are talking about two separate things. The ability of the bay no acquire interest what the mind is it because engineers and planners?
No. I'm just doing education. No, my law of natural resource. It's been to metrana or been to a be same no me met be same or better mo my guys out American I say yeah bahama yeah the Rebecca party 17 year come yeah bahama or what there sabi yeah educate public inside a kai tulo oil in the government of Ghana one arbitration or bad sakai. What they came and acquired the major but it didn't go through parliament. It didn't go through parliament. It's a bad also no. You've gone into a contract with me into other way, you know. It's a damn letter or no refer where you are MPP are here yet a man, Ibrahim Haman. On ya no quarrel woman ye there. A damn breno and now buying a contract or one on your go feels down my no in the war. But engineers and planners or the your friend when you are opia do kwa goes this damino wakoye adwuma the brand motin the require other better kai ba abayam there me you brand you or adwuma di or was as be me requesting kitan so ojetum no az mama meje adwuma na ma ye brand so onu jetum mpo e or the sign by ban what my ban jituma na and that approval them let your catch it was expressly stated there. Your negotiation and this letter, no way letter, does not mean there we've given you. Into a different disease here can a go feels that mind when you will into a beer or entry biano or Ministry of Lands and Natural Resource. He will not come and ask for no ABA AU abai wasana or negotiation. So there is no negotiation anyway. My just as my American say. My just say. First leg no obi wo ho na me peda me obi ni kotin kita ho na se yipa no ma mo kwan a ma ba ban wo ma be ka cho yo ase na mo ntua na adwuma no do aban gituma na anji ntum eno hu apobo no wo boy
okay enti say ade obi afa kwati kwan so the mining concession na bana
oh my Jerry asema e kan awo na kan won ka me ba mpunka e ka de oye minority wasn't there was the engineers and planners was Oko Shraj. Now, some of kind initially I was
related two issues.
Yes, was the one. Oh, any remission or the manunia paying or your man paying more to them. Abi, I don't want to buy no popo. There, a baby mum, Namusumia baby more. Shall farm don't know change your baby in fact. But that's out American answer. And see, anyone to be a bino. Now, in just set one press conference over here. What's it in Bra was assassin? No engineers and planners and cotain no war. Table no bra or bid for the main. Them concession, you know, or be from government. Bembra we raise a alarm one day Ibrahim. No, the two companies be so was the Ababatown. And today I even going for full disclosure of the owners of those two companies. Now, Mbirben wants a bid in Nimu. So they now want to create an impression or a competitive. Another they even want a full disclosure of those companies, however, engineers and planners. So these are the issues they are putting before Shraj. On yet they're going for that acquisition. And say, "Hey, man, pay my baby." And say, "Hey, your friend, a black water." So they no so be more. So we jam engineers and planners, and so we jam one. I know so no one let and I could find another was any.
And no say day.
No, Mrs. Say we jam one word to them go to engineers and planners would. But by some come ask them. Anna.
Okay.
Masama, me bejina the masamedu. I mean, or your Ghana, your yedman famo. But your Ghana from you worry yedman. But that's out American answer. But my point in there, I call for letter be on engineer. The MPP from what granted. The grant have not started me here. Why is he now going through the tendering? Why is he now going through the bidding now? The bidding now work on an oil now continue no ginim. mo raise red flag si say bia be kan na minority was what they call strategy ho enti mo bia remegina ha na anyefo na wo gbo em da bible enti mfa ye be ngugum na fa me chere ya wa
high needs 100.9 Jumedi e friend Torchlight na from all indication beba aha now what say
me see from all indication me meet me say and then no wa ban a personal attack and or attack me Gen Z me free education the color all those things
one no Gen Z
what's me free education the color na free education some we Gen Z for we Gen Z
na me say we free SHS
ti wan kasa na here then
what's it saying
the main issues now you can me I don't take offense for that you can continue to ask please you can continue to ascribe me you can continue to ascribe me with any sort of words I open. Once I know that I'm speaking the truth, me kind of correct. I'm a Ghana for me, and with the respect I have for Ghana for me jaw ma Ghana for na omundu wasemba. Na all kasa nyina no magere what me say ono kasa confuse no ho. And he was trying as much as possible to confuse listeners. Also, okasa nyina ase no person confuse one kasa magere. Anyame adom. Ade no one kind ama you know what governance is. You know what it takes to give a concession to somebody. You know what is called process. So, want me confuse you. And I hope that want me confuse listeners also. Look, we are all aware that the government, so we make it an appeal to a government. So pay BB. The government has the right, say, Obetimaka say, on my audience, true or false. That is a fact. The government can decide not to give you audience. And I will share later now. It tells you that he has made a bid. And they have allowed him to ongoing negotiation with Omo. So, like Magere said, it's a process. And I say, Ibrahim Mama other people are also going to bid for it. And so what's your problem? Is it the case that because Ibrahim Mama President Union? So you see, when you do all these things, as I know you can say MP for Ghana Nankasa Mumpe Ghana. And a private jet na say Mokano. Me that's what ya. Me share Musa, me say o 2-4 use private jet. Then you MP for ya. Omo so 2-4 use presidential jet no. That time no move voice abasoro omo kan ho asem. Say because O2-4 has used the private jet. MP for ya. Oh yes. Why are they talking about it like that?
And I say
you see, private jet na no. President use right? O2-4 use. O2-4 is also serving a certain class of people. Right? He is accountable to a certain class of people. Just as His Excellency John Dramani is accountable to the people of Ghana. The President Mama using a yamoya. That means that O2-4 so use private jet a yamoya. Now the mumbu nipa dana. MP before, 2 donations will come to Muha. Eyamun to be ana. The case voluntary mumbe 2 donations. Eyamun to be. Into mumu to side donations, be some questions. You see, we are building a nation. Chichir on my own. Pity on my. Chichir on my. Pity on my. Chichir on mine with the MPP. But if the MPP say, Omo my chichir on mine NDC, any Omo Odo Emma Ghana mine, Yebeka Boom, now chichir on mine. And that is exactly what we are doing. MPP was expecting that President Mahama should live on one castle in New York private jet. Not go high private jet. For what reason? Sebi and America and my jealous man to Sebi. Why in the Bayers hard way? Why not send in New the other? That person is going to work to benefit your own self. On one country, Ibrahim Mama said, Ibrahim Mama to fuel ngumo. Or see the nation will buy the fuel into the private jet. No more diako. Internal air day. Matis also I guess or see you see private high private jets. Look, the reason why we were talking about the private jets, and I've said this numerous of times, the reason why we never say you see private jet was that You made us to believe that private jet, it was because President Akufo-Addo couldn't bath in the private jet. And nothing that President Akufo-Addo ain't used to Ghana for private jets. That was what Nitiwul said in Parliament. That was what Nitiwul said. Say, because
substantially, that isn't what Nitiwul said.
And then said it was a passing comment. Okofa Hazard that statement wasn't captured in the Hazard. So what is the substantial comment?
Substantial comment na enye
which one? Which one? But they never said no, meba. They never
grand capture. Say Omanpenye Jari no and capture.
They wanted say yes say hands and capture. Yes we can capture.
So let's deal with
the media captured it. The media too can be official. Because when we hear it from the horse's own mouth and the media has verified to prove say on one Kasanaka. That was why we paid Nitiwul on it. Whatever reason you were giving, as at then, the Liberian president, George Weah, His Excellency George Weah, then was using Ghana's private jet.
And now your papa.
Now your papa didn't now president or might be president.
Baby, said now your papa.
Said then.
Maybe your current
No, they will say then. No, papa said then.
Na jet and na suitable.
So it wasn't suitable for Ghana, but it was suitable for other countries.
I heavily.
Or say that be then when MPP was in power.
They didn't
tell us that it wasn't good.
Oh, says our presidential
travels. No, Ghana
from
you said
you know what?
You said
some of us, eh?
Oh my God.
Hold on, because more politicians. I did one my program, so I just say we are going to nail you. For you to speak the truth to Ghanaians. Bank of Ghana. Hold on.
Don't divert the discussion.
I'm not diverting.
No, you divert it.
Because
let me finish with my submission. You have all the airspace. No,
private jet.
And
now you are telling me that you are not being fair.
Let me tell you something.
You are taking Ghanaians for granted.
No.
And you're fair.
Let me tell you why we are not taking Ghanaians for granted. Let me tell you. The comment we heard from the Minister of Defense then, Mr. Nidi.
Have you read Dr. Callistus Mahamet's writer?
I have read it.
Now, Kekasi.
I have read it.
I
have read it.
And now, Kekasi.
He has accepted the fact that people may raise concerns about the usage. What be some question? May answer question about Tobo. He has admitted the fact that people may raise concerns about the use of the private jet. But it has become a necessary thing, say you see, because of the state and then Ghana is taking steps to get its own flights for the Ghana Armed Force. Exactly. That's a showcase of leadership. What penny so? But Mami come and so. And many people power. We NDC had the authority and power to criticize President Akufo-Addo because as at when no on high private jets no. Now private jet no. Now George Weah, His Excellency John Weah, country be president or no use. What was the reason why that country be president or to me use private jet? President Akufo-Addo no to me use a private jet. They said he couldn't bath in it. That's what they told us. That was what we all heard. No, please, that was what we all heard. The media reported it, and nobody came to deny it. Up to date, nobody has denied that comment by Mr. Nick. Okay. So once he hasn't denied, that's the truth. And we are being honest to the people of Ghana. In fact, you buy and just a private jet, and then you say, President John Dramani flew the private jet to France. Issues. And I'm say they have to look at the private jet before President can take it back.
And your private jet, the presidential jet.
Thank you, President. Yeah. Thank you for the corrections. Sir, presidential jet, no. And I'm who said no. It has issues. They have to fix those issues before President Mama could use it. I'm say the thing has corrupt. Look, me, I'm telling you. President Akufo-Addo, obey my papa. He said me papa or what is here. I'll not pray anytime. And I know how crown and I pray on my way muno. I wouldn't be praying so on. And I pray Nico crash it no woo. Sa to you see ya amount for 8 ko woo ya, mean kind amount for ya. Na ya me the me akasa me nua no me nsa ewom. Was I happy? I will never pray, say President Akufo-Addo, even as now, or what na the baby origin and me. I'll never pray that he should die because he's a statesman. He has contributed his part to the development of this nation. And the credit per Ghana for private presidential jet is not of good standing because when that time the private jet, the presidential jet, it's been over more than 13 years or so. I stand to be corrected, right? Into President Kufuor right? Mark Jerry, and the President
Kufuor
yeah. Good. So if then till now they say that the presidential jet is corrupt, rationally, I say, then we will understand the reason why India will for private jet. But you cannot come and tell us and make mockery of us.
Okay.
And then you expect that we are happy about it.
Yeah, move on. Move on on the tomatoes. Traders, farmers, intervention from the great ministry.
Yet the Akufo-Addo sorry ana no hotel nsi okofa the power high jet. Said amumbre no Ibrahim Ahama no so ni nua ana na ofa se Gabi Ochedako or private jet nke bia ono so ba man bo afo bo na busuan bia ntobi inwe bia anyi bi obedo man pe ni nua bia so anfa oh my friend this thing you are doing it is not a respect to the listeners. They have spent time listening to us. I keep on telling you that you are a young man. Your attack, what you are doing is not fine. Mark Jerry, a guy there, UN General Assembly, Akufo-Addo Koi, World Bank go to a Ghana presidential jet engine go off, but they have to do it by force landing. A guy the masterman. Mark Jerry in Kai.
I did.
Miss Nkai the masterman. The masterman. Oh, Nkai. Oh, Nkai there. Oh, it was all over Mark Jerry. Nkai the Nuna. What be kind moku je toka there plane no when you say basa into koko offer too but my Agyeman. Don't you remember that statement?
I did.
Miss inti yambra na yer kana yam press jet no only good condition. Me kai then this fu by press oku je to by press conference. He carry the jet no the lifespan here 19 years. The year using Akufo-Addo data we using for 12 years. Aka Paul 7 good years. So they cannot say that the jet is not fit for a in the original catcher and the jet, a code another iron. Me in any case, or man paying bia, he's the first gentleman of the land. Yen who be that, Nembra Tamos, Yami very crazy, Iltonen, the who has me crony in our ye. For better 1 week, no money in our bottle. My Jerry, he ana ye sabe, ye kaino, you must be in ye. So, a penasmo, he's the president of the land. Yen to make biara nche be Mark Jerry mazoko masabe yinudun mebwe Minerals and Mining Act section 52 na letter no quote no the masabe no a person may not become a controller of a mining company unless the person has served on the minister a notice in writing stating that the person intends to become a controller of the mining company, and that is 32(1)(b). The minister has, before the end of a period of 2 months, beginning with the date of service of the notice, notify the person in writing that there is no objection to the person becoming a controller of the mining company, or that period has elapsed without the minister having served on the person a writer notice of objection to the person becoming a controller of the mining company. It is a kaya. This one is in reference to a mining company, not a mining concession. But just ask my educator. The minister within 2 months have to write a letter of no objection, because it's two entities that are dealing. It is our child them letter the minister throw a letter. They come and no objection. It is the law that states that it is not an acquisition of a concession. It's a controller of a company. To that despite company waha na mebwe a classy radio where you mako na despite a classy radio canoye ni substation to them hello kumasi. That is what the law talks about. Na yet the despite basic radio station where you makubia. There are two different things, but the man will see them.
Okay. Higher needs 100.9. Quick one. Now answer my question for so. Is about government intervention on this tomatoes export ban Burkina Faso for an initiative. This as we speak, deadline here Tuesday. Agri Minister Ababa Betrim intervention outlines and measures are outlining Diego Odiamaye. A bit to me abwa acreages of tomatoes or say yado under feed Ghana. Intervention amantana a bit to maso yasene.
Magere, yempo. I say ye be money so I say. Tomatoes and your friends say onion. These are commodities day in, day out. Make us millions of people eat tomatoes. So in Ghana for Ghana every day.
Ghana there tomato there deep papa. It's a data no it shows say Ghana there you eat tomatoes.
Daily, almost all Ghanaians eat tomatoes in this country. That means that there has to be a deliberate intervention. There has to be a deliberate policy. As a buying or now or minor to acquire so that we can be able to leverage our people from these situations. Now, before I buy mono, we promise of feed Ghana. We promise of these issues of farming attractive. Ama mamunum so at be a kum. Farming is what I think that so obiaye, even media personnel in any way. But now our focus is on tomatoes. Sometimes it's very shameful, and it's an indictment on all governments, MPP, NDC, and all other governments at Abaco. It's an indictment on us that Yatnas Yashe Ama Burkina a desert country. Etmia produce tomatoes say omudi feed ye Ghana for. It is a shame and in an indictment on all of us, both MPP and NDC. I think that we haven't done so much to make sure say we leverage our issues. You be ye importation of tomatoes every abrabom. What we need to know is say feeding on our own tomatoes means that we are creating more jobs for our people. So I was very happy when President made that promise. We are going to focus on that aspect of our farming. Now it's me, I leverage from the importation of tomatoes from Burkina Faso. Now, the Agri Minister, we are happy to hear the announcement. Say, about 100 acres of tomato farm, right, have been established. And within 90 days, say, it's me who say, Yankasa, harvested that tomatoes that we ourselves in this country have been able to do at plant and we'll be harvesting them. Now, one of the things that His Excellency John Dramani promised that the Minister for Agric, Honorable Eriko Poku, has picked it up seriously is that school farms. That policy have been communicated to most schools. So let's pick it up and have farms in our schools. When I was say we are teaching for school for fine. Now more time we now we now with me a dot tomatoes school. These are interventions that we think that but these are the things boy minor cost. The question I ask is that how can you have an agric officer on your food? Maybe some people will challenge me with this, but agric officer on your food. You don't have a farm. We can say we are considering them because of the landscape. But the northern areas, at least every agri farmer has to have a farm. Use your own farm as a case study to do other people's farm. So let's look at all these things. You see, these are times that we need to all come together and support policies of this kind. Who say tomatoes, if there's a shortage of tomatoes in this country, if there's a ban of tomatoes in this country, from Burkina Faso, that means that we are all going to suffer it. So the minister coming now to mention all these policies, and we are seeing that so that we won't be going to be buying tomatoes from Burkina Faso and other neighboring countries. I think it's in the right direction. Then it's something that I think na obia ntimi nsom so that we can see how we come together as a people and to remove this issue of importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso. It's a shame that Burkina Faso is a desert country. We should be farming tomatoes and be exporting that to the Burkina Faso. You see, but botaya amount for this year money so. What you say, Magere? Because botaya na this year news to say we want to plant tomatoes and export. Sabotaya no ye this year news na ka say yebeya in the near future, some time to come, you realize that we will begin to export tomatoes to other countries and have tomatoes for our own selves. But senya butaye no I say obia person obana obeye no own policy na kwa. Make us say maybe if you look at the history of Burkina Faso and how almost share that emma tomatoes ebe bu omo ho. Maybe it was a drastic plan almost na say a draw. It makes sure say
but woman can say mechanized farming no woman
you see
manual farming. Yes, and mechanized.
You see, so I said butaye bi no mo dey see omo come so say ombeye. The government supported it. They made sure so omutimi. So I'm happy that this current government under His Excellency John Dramani say he will support that particular policy, especially what is happening now. That means that by force, a hook or crook, we have to all support that policy.
Okay.
They make sure say a call. So your friends say, Noah, I call on you people, MPP. This is a singular thing that you must not oppose. No matter how beneficial it will be.
You go to tell Bruno. You go to do Mandis Nungu. How do you oppose this thing?
No. My last submission.
You give your time.
I'm coming. No.
What time?
You see,
man can be
there may be a certain amount of money.
There may
be some. That is a policy that we are coming out with. You understand? People have the right to criticize it, but in America, criticize it constructively. And you know, impuntu eba share sa adwuma mu eno na yese mo ka ho ase. So I am calling on you, Noah, that support the policy and let's all have tomatoes and stop the importation of tomatoes into this country.
Jerry, you see NDC food baby we freedom ho what's in the man here so yet say.
Aden.
Is it what to be na mo control to me Facebook there. Congratulations Mr. President. But then the prayer NDC members prayed for the Ronaldo's government. I'm going to pray the same for you. And me, I'm going to do so I'm the Wadgen, but I don't know what the time here yet in the man yet. But Jerry, about farming, especially farming and agri sector now, we've not been good as a country to hear. But Jerry, in that year, can say, you put one hin woods the Ghana rice. Then will be from do no more so motor Ghana rice. Oh, there be a Ghana rice. This me be na me fufu be na me yida ma the fra. Na me say ntisa no gote na oh there be a otra. You see, yan be biara o ha bia here yet bia ya rejecting. Yan fa me yet ye kwesi ho aye koko. Age ana mboa. And that so galam say for atu eguma wo say ni. And the ma ba ye dua oya ma ro wo ya mo ye pa rubber. You see somebody also more rubber plantation. I over harvest rubber now. What's the common on it? No, come on, again. Jerry, yes, I say Abu Foko school now war punishing her. What's on Cobro? Just in see one of we school about America. I Greek in poor freedom who are born away. I Greek, but when him that Greek is a pure science a subject. Yeah, my friend, you may me go to Gulu, Modro Banchase, my for one about. As if there, look what Banchasa on yard, papa. Na and your mammy more catch or do, and me a mizanye na mother. There was no motivation. Woman or do be a equidumum. Na Jerry, he so to never basically, Burkina one policy away. So feed an oil, it's under democratic dispensation. And the president bought my ban exploitation of a friend, exploitation of goods. Saka de keti amon abredo odu baby no wase Ghana fo ya krakra nyama bia ya krakra bi o ya kra na ntwini ye maade a edziba ye afi ba ye wo baby na ya so ndeche na ye ba nti ya fa nko parliament na nzama ne bia ya krakra na ye free there onye so ayi no ya gbebo ho atware wa ha nti odu baby na a champon mbro you operation feed yourself so on your democratic government go back me na me fi na beka cha mu ndua ade wo ho but yet democracy gumama nzema bi ode ya reason won yentumi em minister wa kada 100 acres a menyim da sa fi na wo be sa then ya wo no ya plan ye ya ndwene ho ye because what the ban here na manaba ka chen we have to go into 100-acre cultivation. What's it 3 months? So between that period, do we have enough of tomatoes are perishable goods? Onya this one na Ghana for yesuban 10 canned tomatoes and not 10 tomatoes no cry no po. Eba also dabi order me tomatoes fresh midi frame. Na majari ishema na kanya Ghana for your tomatoes be oyan kitikiti bi we friend fa beje mukrom dem ya friend. But today dem idi kogo ma won to. Enti amama obi an ye kwagina akase no do odo woto akase odo ye enti sa minister da ba magere mami minyimi be chemo ba yam daga kan de os we dua dada na am ne ye bodua magere
obadua dada
we obi abusuma hin
and the feed Ghana no
enti bosuma enya bosuma
ni bosuma ne ba do chese omadua enti ya twa ni musa unsa de na season enti e be wra memu ekono e be chance ya
na me oye natural season ya. But if you are being conscious that you want to feed Ghana, and kadam aina record by December they do yanka machi yato. And think April was one for what they mean. Na ke tomatoes ebudu. It is us why ya majari. Me ya constructive criticism. Or the media. One try here site or walk. Be wa him for be wa him. Am ye to be the year day. It's the chada abaka try kakana roko. And majari I will encourage each and every household. Tomatoes ya there. Baby obenye bi onya ahwena kakra bi ofir dan se sunsun oroto no on sha dan yi pattern oto biara ne tomatoes impo this baby na se insufimpo ya and the eguasa obotu ba so amon ebi mo ye mu mpo yi de nda galam se na za ba am vegetables ni bebre ai ayehu ni da ayehu pa itemi mo ofa oya ade pa ne baby oto okwa ashibu kontomre bi ho agari beto na season metetawa obadwa na akwato tre na meja tre ya ma ato beto tre no bo na obe yi na yi so afifi nti ma be da no ma age in containers ade egu a biribe ma ore mu kotu ahwena na mu containers ni so ma ye be ye nkruma na ade ntroba na ade mara be fechi wa ma atu bi na be because ma jerry what's in the call wo ho a wada dialysis do bebre yo ne bodo na mofra dan me ten programs bi was galamsey na the mercury na do rebu na ti mageri amaye men ma yehu and mageri mesre ma abansu ye na yenso ye hwe GMOs na wodi rem o ma ye hwe because GMOs no also na se ke menye to anya tomatoes na be botum ze egu but go because o ye GMO nti idigu o fifire na yin ogbechira na apu intum ye yibio ntu bi wodu bio ti mageri ye beta minister echi nembo mo wa kada was we dua dada ho mo se chofu yi kohwe betei kohwe beken mo fa mo yinzi echi because Ghana ha Bajari tin tomatoes won fa twu moko da akoto do kono pa mo twu moko mo no se tin tomatoes tum Bajari no yenzi de dem o yezi do kono na chinam ma wo chi toka ho a mo twu yi pe mo twu tomatoes mpo egum enye de bo the tin tomatoes afra wom da 10 wo ho ebotum ye da substitute but here ye dizi moten eto nkan do kono odeje moko red one bi asa we da no into 15 tomatoes mfra na she tokra we yezo 15 tomatoes ngum ma ma fans do kono ya na mgbare na chinam ya so ye dwo moko de tomatoes awom kakra na mo ma ye yin kwa ye ho de ye be ye nyama bi these are the some of the issues nko do ye ba na ye be ka ho asem na obi atople na obi ntopple no fa di bambo sisi abanada woyam wojenhwi wojenhwi na magari o man payin mesmo yin wo fa na try Burkina president
why there
Ibrahim mesmo yin tema otumbo wojeji wonu mo otumbo di tusha no wo di be cha no wo days bi otumbo yin nka ba o mo ewi no kakra mayen anaru no chansha kwa God na asiampo we impuda asiampo
we've been told say one more engage Burkina Faso
mes mo to me of friend mo di twisa no or the bofu or the independence square or the twi shan wa or the kwachan na che do
etu na or the share na o call no na no what ya say
no ma je ma me chan yi de ehun de a cool maker I invite moreba metu isenu natado ehun do ba bia wo na wo screen no wo wura mi na wo screen won Magera wo ko chance bi da ayi wo better triple who could ba oh che so making wo better triple oya keke kan wo be catch oje on one shot do but if they could allow somebody they can trust him to carry a gun and go and shake hands with the president na che there nkitamudu ode wo mu mu piu pa nto nyina no fa said na o me grace pro kaka cut from there
for your information so winnim na what see as ye a etu na share na ho ba no
nebula team
enye
nebula team ana nebula
part of no woman dressing enti etu na share na ho no and being dim say where what you saw the kwakobon hwan ya na Mageri part of Mageri dressing na no de ba ya or the kokochi ya Ghana mampenye
Marky say name say Kufuor obesiru 2001 Rollins or Ko Bema camp where be abasa wo ba na mo nko obi ana ante enti fi no na me enti fi there say embre a wado mampenyi si do na efan there Akufo-Addo anaba omia orokọ na your friend here two bonus bro your water pistol then go to ana inkrabe fenate captain inkrabe fenate orokọ na water pistol then go to so I'm just portraying the trust and belief they have between the two of them. That's a big that people was the two be chow way apada.
High indeed, 100.9. Bebacho, Mamenye Wadweche. 030225790. 03022435540. 03022435540. Mamenye Wadweche na. Yako Bebacho Madu. Yetio.
Na me wife dia makobo ni wutete
no ye
makunta papa obo agima pa akunta yankopon so obedi mbema akunta doma anye sigai why
yo mate
yo magani wa won say asema me be ka me ka Ghana nko ye Africa ye leaders wonu mo ambeto mu ko wonu mo fufu ko wadi ko wa adenna nyankopon wasai nyema bobesi wadi ateye magari sin ya hun toye magari tisa amoya amokan amopa Burkina Faso omo population yese omo ta sitenya na gife ya trafo ho akoto amo ansa na beba benya dokunu adi na ye sore aga Ghana koye ni magari adani na yantini ya kaje ya bayan ya kana mu ko jinne ko betima do meti anka ba ma eskapa anka mamu no ya si agima no wono magari pani unka de blebenya agima nti ya leader no tem yo mo pese ya de bia ye wuke na mo do munya baba mo na mo kakra no na mo wuto mo ya bese o mo de o man no di show mo tata mo ya agima ma ya na ya wuto e
mena se mama fa de ori ameba cho majo
Majari mejosu.
Yes yo. Okay.
Majari eledi kan mama chia watifu na min chia ni afo ha kusini jombodi. Majari mejidi se andi sini na wati mama chia pipi ni noti ono mfante ya mede papa. Majari ujidi se andi tufu diwe ya omo kasa pa na yana mwoko. Oshe amamu a yebu Ghana ha omo di 29 years ampi di 18 kudi years. Na ne obeta katre se play na Kufuor di yusu eye na ene mobile no mo yusu ni once na say it means almost say ya nkasa say onu timi kase play na eye no mobile when you pepe kase dia and this for mo say ya di ye koye.
Okay. Mema cho mame fa de odi ha memo ajo
champion Magari
yes sir yetio
ayime nyame asum bi
enka also
mincha income na chairman you on our board dako mincha I am a political mentor you are kind of accompany the phone
the godfather. So in politics, of another papa. My Jerry, on my Ghana, you pay for net on my Ghana, Megumi Aviambo. Because I'm a share. Yet a Japadia on my Ghana, your war. Nothing a couple clerk of us in toes at the deal of Ghana. Nothing a share a Sasia and that institute. I go from Kamali. Now you're paying for me car machines. And my modern farming. And my tools and my Ghana. May you become a fat, not going to move any yard. In for them to do my mentality. A buy your German money and it's for share Ghana for. So, 24-hour economy. And not buy and still won't shade. I buy you for the agenda 111 I see. Not yes, you plastered it will go for your painting. I was thank about with my all two also. Not gonna move when you as I you say we are here. Not gonna necessarily be or still again not to see 24-hour market. There's a get out to put any young one down. And that's what we are. Or men as a market now, what's not quite a bow. That's some of my Ghana. If I say I'm paying for them, I don't want to get money and pay money to them for no can answer what you're put capacity in the room. Because I'm afraid the air cost my name is for them and the 4 book chrono. So, but now I'm why any a team to get a chrono to with that, music for you could and Dharma man and more. That is a kind of Mukandia. Everything say that crap. The two of put them answer and Gana form. Yes, no, already in Yamagana form. Not a member for 1 year to job can. No more stand for him. The cocoa for I'm a more good, and I need to be the water. And the pure water, I can tell you, should have bought water and get 5 cities. What don't get 5 cities away for a moment, and then I have 5 cities. And never have possible, although for long big inflation, I come from about a single decade. That is, I'm only cool, not about the never born in Todia. Then I did not, I'm only a queen, as a for the part away from.
Okay, made us say. Maybe I shall be father on the oh, when Timmy and you know so. Mammy fine. Maybe I shall my joy.
Jerry, Yamia Swingy,
and counsel it here.
But you're only about Rose Queen of the Airways in Alabama. My Jerry, my main boy says, let's see John Dramani Mahama Basso, or no, I owe Mampina, or Shebo or Dini Bushes. And then our constituency be our corner, now region be our corner, he for in our Bonabasso. Or see or bar. Obey the 24-hour economy. Says the mama or Sheba or this so. Nina a chassis, and yes, I feel about a chassis. Now, Omugusu, eh? Says the mama wants to say, Bandy, I watch you more, or Sheba on the bushes so. Or see, obey the market, the 24-hour market, every constituency. Maybe constituency, 24 to 1 or more. But NPP for no more constituency no yet demonstrate my MC no NC bet ye ya gina mo say MC no bet see ama shama nini acti and the president mama nya president bia o sheba won di so onu ti na Ghana fo ni ji papa hu hwe di whole way say na papa ya ti enim o ma fenyi be na ti ya sai esi mbọ na batu na ehye bi say na mapana won ni so ba yama o man Ghana no onko so no ye na every before the enye omu dia the papa bia ma ma ba dia enso mo ni da o meti na position sa ache na menka ho
Medas mame fa di odi ya me ba cho majo
Majari ya ni mela ni tikoye Majari ne di kan na me ka kire ni say ye be ka kire Ghana fo say ye ba yan ka kuku Mose mobile kuku metone 7,000 and the mobile atia about 2,500 on cry into Omoka. Majari Mesnaka, if a quanya, Pukua situ, Kumasi, Mampini Kufo, a Kufo chassis, 1 week, in an Apua the chassis 1 week, and then and this will buy no mobile so more. Majari Yanka could say, and then Yatiti said, ye be a current read fear, Akukumasi, Majari, can a crop pass, you could take a week. Nase yetimi fanyi pukwa sidi yinko ye sabe fufura ni kai dise sika we a ya agenda 11 ya magazine ka Ghana for ye wontoye majari yetia na MPP tam ye se 6 meter up to now biliman 6 mo de ene andi zifo abeka kire Ghana for say ye sabe 6 meter pre Ghana card ni pa ye tu nuwa no mache ne ni pa salary ye se ya ye wi ene se ye papa se John say ya ye say ye be sa sana fufuro majari fe data kwa ni yusu Mobile, Muka, one sem kaka, the data no crown, send on my crown, autocra, which you call and call. Lay at home, say a buying bar, and 12 beer, we are near Koya Kisa, back and front. I then we did the Ghana Pota. Let's send this for Punyan Monia, ya papa jo mama ne wanya no deliver magana hu say sabi usuwa bi bi hwe ne bra ye ka galamsi hu asemi ya galamsi me jeri mi na no me ko takwa ha no ko yi magere me ka kire say Ghana ni bia ka kire say galamsi bit mo mara me dia me yale tisha me gitu say bi entu because the money kono magere atikia pasam magere me kire papa
me da say me for last one majo. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, yo.
Yo, the family, the president Suma. Doctor Mechanic say, broken tomatoes.
O me bajo kasi o.
Yo, broken tomatoes no. Ya papa. It said, broken at the end. Son of Muyeno no. Kana ye sao. Ye no one. Minister see ebe ye no ye be good tomatoes so. And the best and na ye di go pete wama ye di kwa na yakoma looking at the end of you the more any waste ni na manema na local na omoye no tama exhibit da oboso mi edu kwa na da so da ho na ye pe one week pe na ebro nti ye rewom looking at tomatoes de amagana ni ebe di wakana no no me baba won dia
Me bajo na Burkina no unim se omo de aduro ya na on fa aduro ye.
Omo fa aduro je mako akohwe ma
Oh ko hwe.
I don't know. So one guy is around the hey, man, ja, so can there. And the old Nimson, maybe no more. You know, call I took quite alpha.
Me menyi wachi yo, okisi wako ho na me bisa. Now so Burkina nto so de tumi da ho abosumi mienu na nya hwe.
Enya hwe.
Eh. Ene nto so kura se mko pebito. All right, but that's it. Yo, but that's a bra. Yankopon kan ha na me disi. Me do bibi ase. Wa wo frɛ me da se. Mo a mo hwɛ mo so yeda mase. Ye de ase. Wa guno wa, o final comment na go.
Yo, my final comment, me kind the NDC. Amanyeku. That they are so fixated about Omampino to be. Now, Rebecca Omampino, na wa no quote ala is what about the powder. And be away be on mama. On so pay and constitution or 1 pay into a pure or do bo mine, members on call, no people for a back. Now, why walk by what you say? One by what you say? Me in there. Yeah, I'm a trend this for because Mamma said, I won't go for what could grow. The one fella in bad in Surati. Share communication minister. And I am my pay my mother cry. Oh, yeah, not it. It's your good and in week. Mobana Bado in your day. Obiara and Nano chubby, or baby, or the Impano. Until you could try black wire, no track play, no, you're damn diplomatic, you know, or the look of foreign affairs. If you're some Georgia, Stubborn Academy and register, the data is expensive. In the year, then the other question, and when they have a PR, I'm a DSTV. DSTV, or one promotional package, on about announcing. Obi Ojina Haka and there. Registration, what's the voter ID card? Will be the voter ID card, will be the passport, will be the your friend, then driver's license, will be the health insurance. Otherwise, them registration, those data are there, or a biometric. It's no one here, or registration for free bill. It's now there. Ministry of Communication, no about DVL. One quite one hour the one license here. So what should I say? The license now. I want quite one data. If you want to electoral commission, on some quite one hour the ID. If you are on call passport office, if you are on call national health insurance, don't quite in fire. No more in the Ghana card, no be. Us in there, no, the about 4 agencies, no. You pardon quite head boy a lazy approach. In that way, more registering in and what the Ghana card, no, one source document. I will to be used, you know, in fact, here cleaning. Next is your sign registration. Now, but your stop academy school won't go no, imagine prospectus. I tell you, I beg once about I'm out on meet you.
Magere.
Yes.
I shall defend and say, Obi Adia or Saye, then Council, and I'm Inti Sir, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Nembreso, and then your papa Asia, and I know my papa Asia. Say this hand count for the aye and Naseno, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Senayaba, that's a quine, a course you giddy almost see a quine left, right, center. That's a 24-hour market. 24-hour market. Almost see what baby are. Oh, Manica, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. That's say, yet me tough well. Not dollar a coffin. Na majere sebi what way we a car importer. Car importer no. When him say na utia duty CCR. At least we want ha kakra and na uti mutia duty. And no ye dey asida na be ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yeah, yet way. We are not thinking about the next election. The yadwi one so say e bet me dey sa promise na ye catch the gun for say be and your man catch the gun for say be ye no. Any sa ahonto aye see ye de be break Ghana man no eno and the adwin that's why ye pese ye ma Ghana for. Inti we are not so fixated. Please, you use the word fixated. We are not so fixated to what MP4 Eka. We are fixated to the development of this country, or we are not fixated to the next election. We are fixated to the economy of this country being leveraged from what we came and met initially into another election was Magere, Eddie Nase Kesebema. We didn't check Kesebema Savannah region for you now. Say, look, oppose your hand. Inti mi nkopo so amen chi. Kasa wawie. Inti mi di check Kesebema Savannah region for. All right. Savannah region is one of the regions are. Okay. Edi vote Palmer NDC. Inti mi di check Kesebema Savannah region. The regional chairman e constituency executive senior mi di check Kesebema mo nyina. All right, that was how the editor made the NDC. And then one baby fi Amantana Bashir Amantana, member of the NDC Communication Bureau. Kwekunowa, so Kwekunowa, a member of the MPP on the National Communication Team. And one more you can say weekend. Oba, also Ebaha. Enti, Yako. Na, I am a Makama, we are doing Monsieur Mara, a tifa will take my addition by war. It might be anything. Can candidate to any meme. Traditional area na traditional council oye okofo amaku bonda ma otode baasa nkana nka oye yemem omahen nana kwekura nyame ya adoma nhihempo godo nde yawi ochinefi memende na ye hwe na ya kura ne krabio pacho ma morba no yemem se Eriusi Accra Cape Coast eduman kesima eduman kesima ifaman kesima ifadare be eduma kwa and afa so eduru kwa no da. That is the second community from Mankesim you bedu be fi kilometer bridge na reba eyemem one a oba fa eduma akọ so no ifaman kesima kwa na no but I think the bebre na oba use Mankesim you know that magye mo hwe yim brana yembo eduma kwa mpesi me na ka beba mo but me were ye bebre weekend. Oh, feika ho. Amba ya brekweside. Ambra me menda brekweside. Okay, kwesada de metima rasi aba. Okay, high and 100.9. And how the is within the Mark Jerry Sadima, Juliana, and a studio assistant of Bombi Chidom. DJ Talks the take over. Na ye de or born.